what that means. All I know is that Uncle Roger says it. And Uncle Roger isn't even a real person. He's a fictitious character, so, you know, I don't know nothing. Okay, what questions do you have from the test? 7, he says. Ugh. Are you sure you don't want 6?
Actually, no, I got 6 right.
Oh, 7. The only reason I say that is because it annoys my students. That's fun.
Where is Landon again?
Find the y-intercepts and the zeros of the following functions. Dude, why do you even need that one? That one's easy. What did you?
I messed it up.
Did you do something wrong?
I messed it up.
Landon, I mean, that guy, his name is Malcolm. He's like, I am really hoping that I didn't do anything wrong and you made a mistake on the grading. That's what I really would love to happen. What is the y-intercept of that dude?
X squared minus 2x squared equals 0. That's how we...
The y-intercept
Y is 21x.
is 21.
It's 21. Oh, yeah. Wait. This is the plus 21.
Easy. Now, the x-intercept is what you're talking about. We set the y to 0. And then we solve. How do we solve that? We're going to factor it. Sounds great. Let's do it. X and x. What's going to go here?
-3 and -7. And it doesn't really matter where
And then what?
it's 3 and 7.
X equals 3 and 7.
Huh. Messed it up. Apparently, I thought when I did this, I thought I couldn't factor it. Maybe I like messed up the negative and the positive or something.
Maybe so.
And I did complete the square and messed up that somehow. On number 9 and number
Just some sort of mistake. Who knows?
Weird. Okay. On number 9 and number 10, what was the answer?
I'm not going to answer that.
No, like what type of discontinuity?
You tell me.
Well,
On number 9, what kind of discontinuity does it have at x equals -5?
it was kind of confusing. Wait, would it be infinite?
It doesn't have a discontinuity at -5.
Oh wait. Oh, -5 is what must be.
It doesn't have one there. There is no discontinuity at -5. The whole function is discontinuous, right? It's like a inside-out square root plus or minus thing. Actually, it's like an inside-out parabola. I don't know. No, inside-out parabola is actually a cardioid, but you know. Number 10, the type of discontinuity was missed. That was missed more than once.
I said jump.
It's definitely not a jump discontinuity. No. What does it look like? What does the picture look like?
It's this. 2 lines. And it
Zoom out.
Zoom out. Oh, I already know. Window, change this to like -100.
What is it approaching at -5? I mean, I guess if you wanted to argue that it was a jump discontinuity, you could do that. That's definitely not. It's definitely not approaching, in either case, a fixed real number. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't zoom out on it to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Not at negative x equals negative 5. It's not.
Not at, okay. Okay. That always messes me up because I think the whole thing is discontinuous and then I don't think about
Yeah.
where it's headed.
And that one is honestly a weird problem in a way, because like if you were try to say whether the entire function is continuous or discontinuous, it's tricky because a square root function is often considered continuous, even though it stops at 0.
Yeah.
So it's continuous for its entire domain, but we don't usually talk about it that way. That's not usually once we get to calculus or whatever, we're more interested in the limit anyway. Any other questions from the test?
What was I thinking?
I don't think I can answer that one. I don't think I can answer what you were thinking. All right, let's do today's stuff. Unit 2. What are we doing? Matrices? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Before we do that, what am I missing for 15 and 16?
The right answer.
You say and.
On which number?
15 and 16.
15 and 16. The radical.
Like you say I'll miss it, but like
So like on 15, the domain is x cannot be 0 and x has got to be less than 6.
oh right, there's a square root.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now on 16, you wouldn't include the 0 part because x has got to be, wait. No, that's not right on the key.
How do you find an
X has got to, oh, yeah. So you wouldn't include x can't be equal to 6 because it's already, because the other thing says it's got to be less than 6. So the domain is just x less than 6.
Oh,
Oh, you wouldn't list both things because one of them takes care of both on 16.
how do you find the inverse of a function? Don't you
Turn x, yeah, you switch them and then you solve for y. I don't know.
You just have a question, and then I got the answer.
Because you did, wherever the question mark is, you probably made a mistake.
It was
Something
the
you did.
very first step of me switching x and y.
No, I don't know what I was marking, but it may have been the next step or something. Or you didn't switch them all, or you left off a square. I mean, I don't know for sure what you did. We'd have to walk through it.
It was a geometry 2 test.
Sure. We can do 18. What are you saying?
It was a geometry 2 test.
Yeah, I need to put that over there so I can grade it.
Oh, it's a geometry 2.
Geometry unit 2 is what he meant. That's what he meant.
Oh, that is what I meant. We're doing question 18 on the test or the lesson?
The test. What would we do?
I did square x. That's what I did.
What?
Wait, where did we get the square?
Oh, we don't get the squared yet. What would we do?
What I did here was I squared both sides of the fraction.
Great.
But see, I didn't square x because I thought when you square the top and bottom of a fraction, it's just changing. Because like 36 over 8 minus y is.
You gotta square both sides. You can't just do stuff. Yeah.
Because I was like, well, fractions, you can multiply both sides by top and bottom by 2. You don't have to do it.
Right, which is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking it'd be the same if you squared it. That's what I did wrong. It won't be the same ratio.
Yeah. There are some fractions it would be. But. Okay. Let's do the homeworks. Unit 2. Oh no, polynomials. 2, 1.
Holy Omeos. And we're doing the lesson in class today too? Like, something like that.
Or was that video in Google Classroom of last year's class? The lessons?
What are we saying? 2, 1 is what we're doing right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
For
I'm
2-2 is
asking
what we're
for
asking.
2-2.
Uh,
The lesson in here in the class.
Probably won't get to it today, but we will do 2, 2 in class. Whether it's today or Thursday, I can't answer that yet because I don't know yet. Oh, there's a bunch of pictures, isn't it? We need the television.
Where's Landon again?
Where is Landon? Be like, oh, American Pickers. Let's watch American Pickers. Hi, Landon. On the internet when you watch this later.
Like, he's not here, but where is he?
We don't know. Well, I don't know. Reese was told that he was going to be late because he wanted to communicate with his friend instead of communicating with the teacher. That's crazy.
As I was walking in the door at like 11:29, he texted me, tell Sean I'm going to be like 15 minutes late.
Be like 15, is he already more than 15 minutes late? Let's see. Yep, he's right at 15 minutes, so let's see what happens.
He's walking
Look at this, it's right. I was just talking to you, but you weren't here. What happened to your head? It's usually covered in a hat or slicked up. Today it looks different.
Because it's heroin.
Hair on fire.
It's actually been like
So
this.
scary. Like looking at
It's just you never see it because.
I already warned him, Landon, but I'm in a mood today, so say dumb things at your own peril.
dumb things at your own peril.
I'm not necessarily in a bad mood, but I am, in fact, what am I even doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. But I am, in fact, in a mood.
I guess I should take 30 seconds to look up what is an ordered pair because I didn't break out.
What is an ordered pair? Hey, ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is Mr. Frankie.
Yeah, considering that's like 5th grade math, yes, you should definitely do that.
What was that in context to?
I just wrote like a bunch of junk about the problem because I had no clue what I was doing and I didn't really answer that.
It would have taken you 30 seconds, like literally, but it's okay.
You know what took more than 30 seconds? That video.
You know what took more than 30 seconds? Writing out, what do you mean by ordered pair? In the time you took it, in the time you wrote all that out, you could have figured out the answer to your own question. Facts.
5 pages.
No printer.
5 pages of notes for that last game.
I did too.
For just that first one.
It was only
The
two.
fact
Why-
that you had 2 pages of notes.
Come on, thing.
Means that it's a very long video.
I don't have all, oh, well, it would help if you were plugged in, wouldn't it?
Plug it in, John.
Plug it in, plug it in.
What?
Great.
One. I just grabbed it all in there.
I crammed it pretty good.
Oh no, you see, yours is organized.
Excuse me.
Mine is organized and it has pretty colors.
This is mine.
I think Sean would actually approve of my notes for once.
That's crazy, brah.
There's actually colors.
Whoa, there it goes.
American Pickers. Oh no, wait, sorry.
American woman. Oh wait, no, that's different. Doesn't that song say "American woman, stay away from me"? And that isn't that the lyrics of that song?
It just needs like 4
What else are the lyrics of that
Yeah,
song?
and to get a fade. And then it's gone.
How did I ruin
I don't want that.
bad?
No, but you're uglier, so.
We don't know, bro.
What was I thinking?
Away from me.
For the range. For that.
The range is infinity.
Come on, I don't have all day. We're trying to math here.
No, it's not. It's just infinity.
That is kind of a
and
confusing
negative.
range.
I do this to show them I'm married.
But I put like negative infinity to 3 union with 4 to infinity.
I put -2 to infinity and -2 to negative infinity.
What was I even thinking?
There was one that Landon got right that y'all got wrong, which was funny.
Let's go. That's a regular. Which one?
Oh wait,
I don't remember.
I was looking at the wrong one entirely.
I got number 8 right.
There it is.
Did he say eight?
I found it.
I got the whole last page correct.
I messed up on the very last one because I forgot to square.
No, I take that back. I got -2 on the last problem because I did not reset finish because I didn't swear it.
I mean, no, you're not there yet.
It's it's pronounced Landon.
That's crazy. My own math teacher coming against me now.
I wasn't really coming against you. I was really just saying a funny joke.
It was hilarious. I laughed.
Oh yeah, so funny. So funny, just like your face. No, I don't want to turn on anything.
In the red.
Go away. Stop it.
I was so mad about that red carving there. That was my spot. That's my spot. And then someone
He was in my spot.
He
so
was
I
in
had-
Number 2
And so I had to back in.
looks like that.
Next to you. Number
You
two.
got
I didn't
it
think we were
before.
back
number
in these.
2.
What did we do?
We had these whole
Yes.
lists.
No, number two. We already went over the test.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was. Oh. I left out the first part. Whoops.
Number 2.
Describe the domain range, intercepts, UV8.
Let's see. Here we go.
But we will have the video for the.
That's
we
what I
did
did.
before.
I just
forgot to read graphic.
It is live right now, bro.
I think I got. Yes, I got it right.
Number 2 looks like that.
Exciting. I don't do that much.
Number 4 looks like that.
I got that one too.
Hey, you're supposed to graphic these.
I don't know why this is being stupid now.
But mine looks
That's all right.
okay, you-
Number 6 looks like that guy.
It's not a guy, that's a graph.
He can identify as a guy if he wants to.
No, he can't. Whoa. What are we?
By law, he can.
By law, I don't care.
Let the math alone. Number 8 looks like that. Where are we going? Where did we go through 28?
30.
I don't know why 30.
Yeah, 30 was weird. I really didn't like 30.
Number 10 looks like that. Oh, excuse me.
10, wait, what does it look like?
That.
Yeah, that's like that.
And number 12 is right there. Stop that.
Oh, wait, I didn't do numbers. You like numbers? Oh, wait, never mind. I got it right too.
Can you go back? I wasn't paying attention.
I did them out of order.
Why are y'all being dumb today?
Because we are. And then I also did 19 for some reason. I had just been doing the notes for like 2.5 hours, so.
Why?
My
Video
brain
was
is
only an
fried.
hour long.
Yeah, but I paused it and I actually wrote stuff down.
Struggling
I
here.
want to know if I got 19 right though.
19.
We didn't do 19.
I know, but I want to know.
2319.
What? That's Monsters Inc.
And
Number 16. Oh, wait, 14. Just kidding. 14. And my thumb.
Yay.
16 was there. Did you catch it? 16.
Oh, there's 18. 18.
Don't let me see number 19.
Let me see 19.
18 looks like that.
Okay, I got 18 right. Hey, I want to see 19 now.
20 looks like that.
You can't see.
I got it right. At least generally, I got it right.
Generally, I think you got it wrong.
No, I didn't.
I think you got it wrong.
Look, it's this thing.
Let's see if you got it wrong.
Wait, I want to see 19 now. I want to make sure.
22 looks like that guy. 24 is this one. 26. I think we've got 28 covered. There it is.
That was a weird looking one.
30A is a scatter plot that goes roughly in the direction of a exponential function. We can look at the picture if you want it. Yes. 30B is y equals 3.54x to the 2.89. 30C was about 66 1,098.82. What questions do we have, boys?
30.
Which part?
B and C.
You need to look up how to do that in your calculator. Somewhere in your calculator will be exponential regression. What you need to know how to do on your calculator is to be able to put the table in there. Be able to put that in there. It'll probably be in statistics, but it could be in table. And then once you figure out how to put it in, you need to figure out how to do an exponential regression. It'll either be labeled as exponential regression or as y equals ax to the b or something like that. That is what you were looking for in your calculadora.
I'll look that up when I get home.
There are ways to do it by hand. Nobody is doing that anymore. Nobody.
The sad thing is I don't have a good reason that I was here late.
Nobody asked.
I was grading my chemistry test, and then I just looked up, and math class started in 2 minutes.
You were grading your chemistry test?
Yeah.
Don't you do chemistry at like Seek or something?
Yeah. He has to do it.
Why were you grading your test?
His mom was grading it. Is what he did.
No, my mom makes me grade it.
Why were you grading with your mom?
Does your mom not grade yours? Oh,
You
you're
do it
making
with
me yours.
yourself.
Well, my mom makes me grade my test. Everybody's supposed to grade their own test.
I don't know anything about Seek, so I can't speak well of it or talk crap about it. Because I don't know anything about it. The only thing I know about it is that it is yet another, one more offshoot from classical conversations.
Which is better than classical conversations, because classical conversations are not very good.
I don't know a lot about classical conversations. I do know that in theory a classical education is a brilliant idea. I don't know about like random moms trying to teach a classical education, so I don't know. I don't really know much about it.
If it was a classical education, why do we have to type up the papers? That's my question.
Not when it
I don't think that you understand what a classical education
Yeah,
means.
definitely not.
Weren't you in there for a long time?
Why was I using?
Any other questions from this lesson, boys?
That was actually pretty easy. Because I took good notes and I actually did.
What? If you do the things that actually works well
Yeah.
and you learn stuff, that's crazy.
But I still remember it because that was.
All right, let's talk about polynomial functions. Everything in this unit still, I think everything literally, actually. Yeah, everything in this unit is still review, technically.
So is this two notes?
Yeah.
Man,
Everything in the next unit is technically review.
What day is today? Tuesday. That doesn't help. I know.
And then unit 4, you get some new stuff.
It is.
That's crazy. I feel like that's the furthest you go into a book in this sequence of books
Your phone case.
before it's not just like straight up review anymore. I'm gonna grab some water and then we're gonna do a lesson.
Look at this man's phone case. It has seen all
This
of
man. Do you believe? I want to know.
No, my first one was a 7.
you had a real phone before you didn't get it.
Yeah, it was an iPhone 7. I had a.
All right.
My first phone was a watch. It was crappy. Hey, my first phone was actually a watch.
What did you do?
Yeah, literally last night, like I had it in my pocket up at work, and then like I
Where
checked
do you
on it
work?
one. Mighty Wash.
Mighty Wash?
Yeah. Not bad.
Not bad.
Which one?
It's over by the loop.
Landon's gonna go, and then he's gonna start just using his windshield wipers and then try to manipulate it.
Yeah.
That would break my windshield wipers, not the shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to break my windshield wipers.
But it was like it kept like trying passcodes while it was in my pocket, and then like by the time I was done.
Hey, that
it was
happens to
locked
me
out.
at work.
All right. So what is a polynomial?
It's where
A
there's
lot.
multiple
Oh, yeah.
and it's like regressive.
So there are multiple terms.
Yes.
That's true. What else makes something a polynomial? What, and it might be easier to ask, what is not a polynomial?
That was my alarm to go get a Scantron.
What is not a polynomial?
Camera.
In math, dude.
A plus sign.
Malcolm.
You're not helping.
We're on punch you for him.
Somebody's gonna punch you is what they're getting.
I don't care who.
Is that a polynomial? Is that a polynomial function?
I wanna say it's
It is.
It is?
Nothing wrong with that being a polynomial. That's totally a polynomial. Absolutely a polynomial.
What is it called? Binomial?
It is a binomial
Oh, is that
specific.
just the thing where it's like, okay, yeah, that is the
I don't remember how to define it, but I know what it is.
It's by how many
That's a
terms it has.
monomial.
Monomial?
Monomial.
As of right.
Is that a polynomial function?
Yes.
Yes, it's a monomial function.
I said C. I said
Why?
I felt like
Is that a polynomial function?
no.
No. That's a reciprocal function. Why is that not?
Because it's in a fraction.
Because it doesn't have all positive exponents, right?
Oh.
On the variable, specifically, not the numbers. Right? What about this one? Let's even be more obnoxious. Is that a polynomial function?
It's a quadnomial.
It is a polynomial function.
I don't know if quadnomial.
I don't think that's.
It doesn't have any non-positive exponents on the variables, right? What about this one? Is that a polynomial function?
Yes.
No, that's a radical function.
But it has a positive.
But it's not a whole number.
Why is X cubed?
It's x to the 5 halves, right?
Oh,
It's not a positive whole number. That is a radical function. That's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
We got kind of what a polynomial function is.
Yeah.
Great. What about pictures? We're going to kind of YOLO our best. Where did it go? I had it 2 seconds ago. Losing my marbles. My marker.
There's a bunch of markers.
I literally had it 2 seconds ago.
There's a lot of markers with it.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
They're an exciting
No, I will not provide you with more context. I wasn't talking to you, lady.
What? Not Siri, what is this? Google's pulling things out of context?
Literally.
We'll give an equation for it. Equals. Is that a polynomial function?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, it is. This is in fact a constant function. It has a name.
Because it goes straight at -7.
Go straight
No,
on.
no, -7.
What?
It does go straight.
I said because it goes straight at 7. It's a constant function.
It does go straight.
What about this one? Yeah.
It looks exciting.
What is that called?
It's
A diagonal.
what?
Diagonal.
What is the name of the function?
Is it a
Linear.
constant?
It's a linear function.
Like a line.
Oh, what? Yeah.
What about this one?
Yes.
Is it an exponential function? Or not?
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is
that.
because it's a quadratic, and quadratics
Yes.
are
Parabola.
Is that a polynomial function? Yeah, it's a quadratic function.
Quadratic. Yes.
We're not going to name all the things, but what is this one? Is that a polynomial function? Nah, ain't no polynomial function. How do I, what specifically about it probably is an absolute value. It could also be piecewise or whatever else. But how do I know that's not a polynomial? What is the giveaway?
There's not all
It was like
values
two
of-
separate lines. That are connected at one point.
You almost said something perfectly correct. Almost there at the end.
There's a real angle there?
They real angle. Because there is a hard angle there. There ain't no curve.
That's what
There ain't no curve right there. What about this one?
There ain't no curve.
That really wasn't that funny, but whatever.
You cannot.
It is not.
I'm gonna punch you.
We're all gonna punch each other.
What about that one?
No.
No.
No. That's a piecewise function.
Just no.
So polynomial functors are continuous throughout, right?
Yeah.
Not like that one. That one's not continuous. Neither was that one. Yeah? Great. Now, let's get some vocabulary from this guy.
I should have taken notes.
Yeah, you should, because if I put an assignment for like where to turn it in, which is a big if at this point, but if I do, this is what you're going to turn in.
Wait, they're big ifs? Why is that a big if? I like the notes grades.
Good for you.
They help me.
Well, if you've been doing it so far, you have 100, and it won't change the rest of the year.
No, notes grades are only 20% credit. Not 20%. That's a lot. Like 10%.
Yeah, 10% is still.
What is the very first, what is all of the numbers in front of letters called? What is the word for them?
The sub.
No,
What?
The number.
they're called coefficients.
Coefficient.
What are you? Oh.
What is the front one? The one on the highest powered
The leading
thing.
coefficient.
It is the leading coefficient. Good job. You remembered something from your
Yeah,
past.
that just popped into my brain. I don't even know where it came from.
Because English.
Let's go. For once, English felt useful.
And what is the highest exponent called? He has a name too.
The leading variable.
No.
The leading exponent.
No.
The exponent of the highest degree.
You remembered it somewhere in your brain. It's the degree.
Degree.
The degree.
Let's go. My brain's actually carrying right now.
The degree. What about the one that don't got no variable on him? The last number all by himself.
The non-degree.
What is mathematically, this isn't really quite true, but it'll get us there. But what is mathematically the opposite of a variable? If it can't change, what is it? It's constant. That's the constant.
Like the thingy?
Yes, the thingy. I don't know what you're saying.
That constant thingy that we use in chemistry?
That's the constant.
Constant? Is that what?
Planck's constant is a constant, yes. That's it.
Exciting.
We're kind of in slightly different context, but you know. Okay. All right.
Hola.
Hey, somebody on the internet is with us today. If the mic is working, let us know in the chat. Don't leave like the last person. As soon as I started saying, yeah, they're very weird. Maybe I'll give them a mic and let them talk to you. Okay. Could be exciting. Maybe we'll all learn math together. or we won't. Maybe you'll say something stupid and I'll block you. Who knows? All right, so
Just say the guy on the left.
when we're looking at polynomial functions, there are different things that can be happening. One of those things that we're looking for is we are looking at end behavior. I don't know why I picked up my book to write end behavior on the board, but you know, whatever. Whatever.
Look like a real teacher.
He's going to whack somebody on the first row.
I'm going to wax on, wax off. So for polynomial functions, you have 4 options. It can either be going like this, or it can be going like this, or like this, or like this. Okay. And we can know that before we even start shoving stuff in, before we stick it into the calculator, before we do anything. As long as our polynomial function is written in standard form, what is that going to mean in this context? What is standard form going to look like? There's one and only one criteria, really. Descending order. Exponents in descending order. That's what we're looking at. Because in this context, we can. You're going to see this at the a, that term at the front, can be negative. Like if we write linear functions in standard form, a has always got to be positive, whatever. But we don't care about that for these. Okay. So if the exponent, so the n, if the n is odd, so cubed or to the 5th or whatever, right? If the n is odd and a is positive, so like f of x equals 2x to the 4th minus 6, or whatever, I don't know. You can have other x's in there, but something like that, right? All right, something along those lines. If this n is odd and that is positive, what is it going to look like?
It's going to be positive, but it's going to be odd, so it's going to be like...
It's going to look like, so it's going to be, if you want to think about it like a linear function, so if a linear function is, if a linear function is positive, it's going to be up and to the right, right? A linear function is going to look like that. Same idea. Why did I write to the 4th? 4 isn't odd. How about to the, I keep writing 4s for 5s today. How about to the 5th? Great. It's going to be something. Now there's going to be, we're not worried about this right now. I'm not even going to worry about drawing this correctly. There's going to be something happening in the middle, potentially, but it's going to go like that. Right? Make sense? Easy peasy? If n is even and a is positive, what's it going to look like?
Just give me this one.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be both ends going up. So this, and then something in the middle, we don't care what, and like that, right?
When n is even, oh yes, when n is even and a is positive.
When n is odd, but a is negative, what's it going to look like? It's going to look like that guy, right? It's going to be down and to the left, right?
Or is that up and to the left?
It's down.
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 It's either down and to the right or up and to the left.
You don't know what you're saying.
I do. You're wrong.
I know nothing.
I'm gonna punch you.
You already did.
N is even
Doesn't mean you can't do it again.
and A is negative. It's going to be opening down. Both ends opening down, right? Some junk here. Excuse me. And then that, right?
Why does it have to be junk? Why can't it just be happy?
Because it's junk.
Well, we don't care about the middle yet. We will later. We'll do all the maths to figure out the middle junk, right? But
What about chunking it into the calculator?
but for end behavior, so you do have graphing calculators this year, and I want you to use those as a tool. And some stuff needs to be in your brain, right? Because your calculator can't think for you. It doesn't know when you punch something stupid. It cannot analyze. It cannot word problem for you. It cannot do any of those things. So you have to think. All right? Okay. Everybody likes thinking. All right. Next topic of discussion is turning points. Not turning point USA, but turning points in a polynomial function. Those are two very different things.
Or the church from here.
Or turning point in church in Lubbock, Texas. That's true. That's an even more different thing. Right? The movie theater.
They're moving into a movie theater. That churches.
It's not going to be a movie theater. It's just going to be a church.
A polynomial.
Yes. Polynomial.
Function f of degree n greater than or equal to 1 has at most n distinct no, that's not right.
It's not distinct.
I knew it, and then I didn't read it, so I didn't say it. At least n minus 1 distinct turning points. Okay, so for example, if we have g of x equals 5x cubed to the 6th, I don't know what my brain and my mouth are doing today, x to the 6th minus 2x to the 5th plus 3x squared minus 5x plus 1 has at least 5 turning points. Okay, so put your calculator down. I cannot stress this enough. I said this last year. Last year was the first year that I required graphing calculators in pre-cal. And I will say it again, and I probably should say it even louder to you people, because I know y'all. I promise you that if it feels like you picking up a graphing calculator is causing your brains to ooze out of your head, I will make you put the graphing calculators away. You will not get them on the test. You will not get them on the quiz. You will not do it. You could do all of this math without a graphing calculator. We did most of it last year in Algebra 2. I want you to use the tool, but don't let the calculator make your brains ooze out. Okay? We will punch it in the calculator in a minute. But what we're getting with these things, we're getting intuition, we're getting ideas. These are theorems, right? This is always true. But more importantly than that, we're getting an intuition and idea for what is happening, right? So let's talk about what this graph is going to look like, what this graph could look like. So what is our end behavior of this graph going to be? What do we expect it to look like?
We expect it to look like this.
Like this? No, like this. Definitely like this. Definitely like this.
Oh yeah, because this is odd, not positive is what I was thinking.
It's even. This is even, and this is positive.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking.
This is even, and this is positive.
Even and odd, not even and positive.
This is even, and this is positive. So it's going to be something like this, right? That's the end behavior, right? So it's going to be something like this. Now, it's going to have at least 5, or excuse me, not at least, at most 5, because 6 minus 1 is 5, 5 turning points. So it could, if it's got all of its puzzle pieces, look something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's not what it's going to look like, right?
What? Shouldn't have one more?
Yeah, I should have
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, because I can count. How did I count out loud and still do the wrong thing? I don't know what happened.
I was like, wouldn't there be another one?
5. So it could look something like that right now. So go ahead and put that in the calculator now and see what it looks like.
So it has to have an odd number of turning points if it's like that?
It doesn't have to. It's going to have at most 5. It could, well, yeah, in this one, yes, it would have to have an odd. That's true. That's true. That's true. But it could have duplicate ones. Do y'all remember from Algebra 2 what would happen if one of them was duplicated? Does anybody remember? Wow. Wow to you too. I'm probably going to butcher your name. I apologize. But what I read is Salmiadip. I'm sorry for butchering your name. I didn't know. I don't know why you're saying wow, but wow indeed.
I think I did something wrong. Okay,
It's not necessarily going to look exactly like that.
no, it just looks like this.
Zoom, fit.
I did zoom auto.
Yeah.
That made like the Y go up to
Yeah, that's all it does. It's just that.
2, 3e to the
Yeah, it's just
13.
the singular parabola. I zoomed out really far.
Where is it?
Right there, it's a parabola.
Oh, gosh.
It's not really a parabola. It's a flat bottom parabola something, or there might like, yeah. So like if you graph this, like just graph y equals x to the 6th and graph y equals x squared on the same graph and compare them.
How did I get that wrong? Put it in right.
Let me see what you put in, bro.
Yeah, it's not quite as flat bottom as to the 6th.
Yeah.
It's like offset.
Yeah. 5x minus 2x to the 5th plus 3x squared minus 5x is 1. And then we're going to graph it. If I can remember how to do that.
It's just the EXE on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then it just makes a big line.
Yeah, you just need to zoom, bro.
I pressed auto zoom and then it just like.
Good, zoom out like he did. That's what your friend of me right next to you was saying.
I generally don't listen to this guy.
Well,
Which is why you do things wrong.
that's not always true.
Why was my auto zoom stupid?
Your auto zoom
Okay.
is stupid.
Should auto zoom better?
Now, we already reminded ourselves in the last unit how to find the zeros of a quadratic function. We need to remember how to find the zeros of a polynomial function. The number, and by, excuse me. Okay, so if I told you to state the number of possible real zeros of g of x equals x to the 4th minus 9x squared plus 18. If I told you to state the number of possible real zeros and turning points and then determine the real zeros by factoring. So how many possible real zeros are there?
4.
4. How do we know how many possible real zeros there are?
Because that's the degree.
This is the same as the degree, correct. What about how many possible turning points does it have? 3 possible turning points, 3 or less. Right? It's going to have at least 1 because it's even, right? But, okay, so now let's factor the thing. We're going to factor this one. This one's not very hard. We're going to use something that you're liable to see when you go to college. If you take college algebra next year, we're going to use U substitution. Okay, so we're going to let U equal x squared. U is a variable that we're adding. So what U substitution does is U substitution lets us take something complicated and make it a little bit simpler that we can deal with, and then we substitute whatever we had back in there. Okay, so what is this going to turn into?
U squared minus 9U plus 18. We're so good. That was kind of terrifying.
Was it this class that people were talking about cults, or was that the last class? Because that certainly sounded cultish. Okay, so now what can we do to factor this dude?
We can do open and then U and then 3 and then
Whoa.
6.
Whoa.
And both are negative. And then minus 3 and minus 6.
6 and 3 and minus. Sounds great.
And then we get
So U equals 6 and U equals 3, right? Easy peasy. Now what do we do?
x equals 36 and x equals 9.
No.
X squared. We can chunk
X
X
equals
squared.
square root of 6 and x equals
X squared equals 6 and x squared equals 3. So when we take the square root, what do we get? Plus or minus square root of 6 and plus or minus the square root of 3.
That's kind of exciting.
4 zeros. It has 4 real zeros. Easy peasy, right?
Indeed.
Yes, indeedy. Let's do another one. Same instructions.
We're just listening to you. He
No,
said
he's
it's
gonna
gonna
hit me.
And then he
I
goes,
said do it, and then I was gonna hit him back
never
after he
hit
hit me.
Violence is always the answer. No, I'm just kidding.
usually.
Well, maybe not the right.
What about this one?
Always a answer.
F of x
What?
equals 3x to the 5th
Oh man. It's hard.
minus 18x to the 4th plus 27x cubed. How many possible real zeros are there? 5. How many turning points are there?
Square.
4.
At most 4, right?
Cube root of square.
You said cube, but wrote square.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now what?
There are many
Ooh,
things.
wait, what are we gonna do?
What can we do?
Let's not do it with U substitution. Let's do it a different way. What could we do instead?
Factor out x third to the third.
Yeah, factor out an x cubed.
Yeah, and then it would be.
And then it
X
looks nice.
cube. Let's go. That's exciting.
Let's to the row.
That makes no sense.
How about this instead? What about that? That's even better.
Dude, that's
Now we still gotta put a 6 under 9.
Ooh, nah.
I wasn't done. I just said that's even better.
Oh, that is better. Wow, I just thought you were gonna go to the next step.
Yeah,
We can factor that.
that's nice.
We can factor
We can
that.
factor that now.
We'll factor the factor.
Oh, yeah. Factor the factor the factor the factor.
We're not factoring it down anytime, we're just factoring the factor.
Don't say factor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the zeros of this function?
So x is 3
We got 3.
and 3 and 3x is 0.
Should have 5.
At most.
At most 5, at least.
So let's look what this. Let's talk about what this is going to look like. So what is the end behavior of this going to be?
It's gonna look like this.
Yeah, it's going to be like that, right? So it's going to be like that. But it has, we just figured out, only 2 zeros, right? So it could just go like this, right?
Or it's a wiggles could be
Or it could be some
Okay.
really
It could go,
jump.
we're going to tease out a remembery. You go like this, but how could it go like that if the x-intercept is right there?
Oh no, kill it.
Oh no. What does the repeated 0 tell us? Do we remember?
You can do extra fun stuff.
What? Are you okay?
How about the x-intercept is actually like this?
Whoa.
Hey.
Where it comes close.
What?
Actually there.
And the y-intercept, I can tell you just by looking at the thing, is going to be like that. Now punch it in the calculator and see if it matches what we're doing.
Holy.
Hi, whoever you are. Is that what it says? Hi, yep, private. Your name is private? That's crazy. Private somebody. Actually, it's probably just your name is private on YouTube because you're not sharing your name. Hi, Bob. We'll call you Bob today. But I'm a girl. Well, hi, Susie. I don't know. Whoever you are. Hi.
Nope. Holy crap. Zoom, the
Did I do it wrong?
doesn't work again.
Yes.
I did do it wrong somehow.
Let's go. Exciting stuff. You idiot.
No, you're Malcolm.
No, I said you idiot.
Oh, no, he's Reese.
I think I did it wrong.
It still does kind of look like that.
Whoa. That's not what mine looks like. Mine just looks like a regular old this.
Does it look right?
Well, your window is set different than his. You should set your window to where you can definitely see these numbers, right? So your x should be between like -5 and +5, and then your y, whatever. It can be the same or different.
It looks like this.
Ooh, windows.
Yeah. And so what yours is saying, and I don't know what your window setting is this actually pops way, which makes sense, right? Because this is a really small chunk. It actually goes, whoa, and then kisses that and then goes back up there, right? Something like that, right? But the real remembery is that when we have repeated zeros, it doesn't cross through there. It only kisses the axis there at that 0.
So does it count as an intercept?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
All right, dudes, I'm going to give you a little bit of homework, and then we'll finish this lesson on Thursday. Your homework is,
I should write this down.
It does look like that. That is so weird. It's so fun. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Can I see?
You did that. I just.
Yeah, mine did that too.
I zoomed bombed again.
homework. You should listen, okay? This right here in class on the whiteboard is the only place where this homework will be written. So if you forget to write it down, if you lose your thing, you need to go back to the video or text your friend of me and get the homework. Because that is what I will tell you to do if you ask me. Okay?
Are you gonna just like yell at us on Discord if we ask you?
No, I will not yell at you. I will just say, go watch the video.
Go with Salt Reese.
Why?
And get the answers from him.
Because you know all that the answers from
That's
Homework, page
don't write anything down.
I'm writing it down right now.
104, numbers 12 through 32, evens. I will see you on Thursday. Guten bye. Yeah.
German, but
Well, so around here people like to say that people speak Spanglish. So that would be Germanglish. I don't know.
German.